99.9 W.H.A.M. Wham! Radio, Season 5, Episode 3. We start this story with Lemur and Rocky sitting in their cubicles at Wham! Radio, conversing in the start of this episode.
Hi, Bird Dog. Look at what I snuck into work today.
What? A dirty magazine? Weed? Tommy? Tay-Tay? Is it a mother falcon clown? Because if it is, I am so out of here.
Chill out, Lean Dog. It's just my Choose Your Own Adventure book. I figured we could do a story at work and get paid.
Nah, I'm good. I'd rather clean toilets, pay the bills, or vacuum before I do that again. And you know how I feel about vacuuming. I hate it.
Aw, come on, Bird Dog. Do it. You won't. We get paid minimum wage. We might as well give them the work that they're paying us for. Why would you pass that up?
That's weird. You shouldn't make sense. But what you say is true. They pay me minimum wage, so I should give them minimum wage work. Yeah, alright, screw it, I'm in.
But I was gonna sell it more by saying, plus, I actually read the Choose Your Own Adventure book and studied it, and it will only last from the start of one adventure till the story ends. And trust me, they all end. And if we die in the story, we don't die in real life. Not this time, at least.
I don't know, Brew. Now I'm having second thoughts.
Please! I really want to do the Game of Thrones. Musical chairs. Yeah, musical chairs one. Yeah, Bird Dog, last time Morty the Mortician cursed us. And that won't happen this time, because he's gone. You know, we don't have him to worry about anymore. Now it's Flocked Amanda.
Yeah, that's true. Don't let her get me. She's as beautiful as she is crazy. Yeah.
Whoa, really? That's Funko Bobbin nuts. She's very attractive. Wait, so that means she's very... What were you just talking about? Peanut butter?
No! Where the hell did you get that from? It was the Choose Your Own Adventure book. Wasn't it your birthday the last time we did a story? Let me see the book for a second. You said you want to do the musical chairs one, right? Like the TV show? It was really good, but until the end. You know what? Fine, I'm in. I like the show. Where would we start?
Surprisingly, at the end. We get to make our own ending because the original one sucked so bad. How cool, right?
Actually, yeah. Whoa! That sounds really gnarly. So, what are you waiting for? In the words of a annoying raccoon I know, let's go already!
It's me, isn't it? Okay, here goes nothing. How do I shut up? Top of still up?
The Choose Your Own Adventure book would fly into the air and started glowing purple. The pages flickered through the air of the book until it landed on the musical chair's adventure. The book would then start swirling counterclockwise, and a hypnotic black and white swirl would emerge. It would eventually form a giant hole in the one side of the room, and Fauna would walk out of her office with Pixie and say,
Okay, everything's prepped for today. We just gotta come up with an idea on how to generate more money. For what the hell is that? It's a code violet. A code violet. Pixie, what the hell is that?
Pixie would be lifted up into the air and sucked into the hole that the book had formed.
I don't know what the hell I said. Fauna, we gotta get... Ah! Pixie, no! Ah!
Fauna would fly through the air next, following Pixie and see Rocky and Lemur and try to cling on to their desks. It would work, and she would scream to Rocky.
Damn it, Rocky, what did you do?
It's a Choose Your Own Adventure day at work.
It better not be musical chairs. I hate that show.
Fauna would lose her grip on the cubicle and get sucked into the book next. The poll for the story would intensify, trying to pull the ones who summoned the story to play. Rock, we gotta let go!
But I don't want to do it now. I'm too scared.
Why? You said earlier when we're done that we'll come back to reality, and we wouldn't die. Were you lying?
No, that's not it. Everything I said was true. But you heard Fauna. She hates the show. She's gonna be so mad when we're done doing this. That's what I'm scared of, Bird Dog. Eat Lemur. I'm losing my grip.
Rocky would begin to rise up, floating into the air and fly forward towards the book. Lemur would let go of the cubicle and would join him. He would open up his arms and would gain speed as his fat flaps underneath his arms would catch the wind. As they both got closer, Lemur would catch up and bump into Rocky, getting sucked into the book before he did. Rocky would ricochet off course with the book and slam into the wall.
Oh, son of a glitch! Every motherfucking episode! He somehow figures out a way to get me into a wall!
Rocky jumped into the air off the wall and would be gracefully lifted into the air and fly towards the book and finally get sucked inside. Our characters, Choose Your Own Adventure, Game of Thrones. musical chair story would finally start. Let's tune in. Don 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 don. Alright, I'm done. Previously on musical chairs, Lemur Snow, a bastard from the north, would rally the houses of Eagle Falls for an attack from the Night Owl. The Night Owl was a very old, legendary creature that lived in the northern part of Eagle Falls, where it was always dark and snowy. Nobody knew why the Night Owl chose now to attack, as he had laid dormant for centuries. But Rocky would be the one who was tracking him. Rocky was Lemur's brother, and he used his seed power that he had finally learned to control to unlock the questions of today, but from the past. He was protected by his faithful companion, Chuck Wood, a simpleton who could only communicate by saying his own name. Chuck Wood had grown up with Lemur's father and was like a surrogate uncle to Lemur and Rocky. We see a battle in the north that took place, but there was very few casualties because it was a ruse by Lemur Snow. Lemur invaded his own castle in the north to destroy a chunk of the Night Owl's forces by blowing up his ancestral home. He waited for the Night Owl and his dead army to attack the castle and burned it down. Lemur would fight heroically in a battle with the Night Owl, but it would be more than he bargained for, and Lemur Snow would just barely escape the flames of the burning castle, proving he really was not a bastard after all, but from the ancient house of the Bearded Dragons. This meant that he would be the rightful heir to the throne that ruled Eagle Falls, but only one animal would know this. The few forces that gave their lives fighting with Lemur that night in the north would be killed and brought back to life by the magic of the Night Owl. Lemur would meet up with his friends Chuck Wood and Rocky and head south to meet up with the rest of their forces, with Ramona, Pixie, and Tommy as well. The goal was to form a giant alliance with the Southern Queen Fauna who ruled this land. Lemur Snow had made arrangements, if the North fell, to meet in Kenton's Landing to stop the Night Owl once and for all. There's been a long war that has been paused between the Southern Queen Fauna of Kenton's Landing and the Queen of the Bearded Dragons, Pixie. They both want to rule the land of Eagle Falls and have massive armies, but the battle has been stalemate for years. They both want to rule, but there's only one land to rule, and not enough space for the two queens who both have very different ideas. We joined Lemur Snow and his forces at the gate of Kitten's Landing, waiting to be let in with so many others who wished to give their lives in battle for the safety of their realm.
What is taking so long? The beer?
Bearded lady? Oh no, the beer is over in that tent over there, right?
The bearded dragon princess agreed to meet us here hours ago. Queen Fauna better let us in, and help us soon. I fear the animals are getting restless out here, and may just want to battle our way in. There's no use in tiring ourselves out, unless we absolutely have to.
Liam, you shouldn't have said that. Prepare for battle, now!
Why? What did you see with your seeing power, little brother?
Lemur Snow, I come with opinionated knowledge. Permission to speak?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're one of my strongest, bravest warriors, and best friend. Please speak freely.
Thank you, my king. I was thinking about our meeting with the queen, and she didn't seem all that terrified when we brought the dead to her doorstep, to prove to her that they were real. What makes you think she'll flinch when the army shows up? And if she doesn't let us in soon, we're going to have to take Kitten Landing by force. You know it's our best chance at surviving an attack from the Night Owl.
She's right. If all else fails, we must get into the waters and sail away. That's our last defense. What's west of Westeros?
Nobody calls it that anymore. It's Eagle Falls now. Stop looking into the past with your mind. It's messing you up.
Pixie, grab Truck. Form a splinter force and start chucking wood at the door to try to break it down. But be coy about it.
Chuck the wood! Chuck the wood!
Chuck Wood did exactly as he said. The Southern Queen of Kitten's Landing walked out onto the edge of her castle's border, being escorted by guards. Her army approached the gates and prepared for battle. She greeted Lemur Snow and his army and said,
What are you doing here?
We're here to bend the knee and work together to beat our common enemy.
I accept your fealty, but I want it from the one who's posing as a queen. It means nothing when it comes from a bastard playing king in the north.
He is no bastard. He is the chosen son, the rightful heir. He is Lemur of the House Bearded Dragon, son of Dawn and mother of Or. I've seen it in one of my visions in the past.
What? Why are you announcing this now?
That can't be true. All the dragons were snuffed out by my late husband. Well, all with the exception of this little bitch and her army, which ends now.
Fauna lifted her hands up into the air and then clenched a fist. The archers would fire their arrows at Lemur's people, who would start to die and scream in terror.
Shields up! March forward! Storm the castle!
Liam, I'll protect Rocky. Hey, you guys over there! Attack the spot where the woodchuckers have broken down.
The archers of the evil Southern Queen of Kitten's Landing would lean over the side of the wall and start shooting arrows down, killing anything that moved. But there was more animals than what they knew what to do with. There would be so many of Lemur Snow's forces that the archers would retreat and head to the ground to fortify Queen Fauna's army. The people of the north would notice this weakness and start climbing the walls of the castle, getting to the top of the barristers, making their way over to attack. It wouldn't be long before the northern army broke through as the woodchuckers made a homemade door, and chaos would now emerge everywhere. The northern army consisted of normal animals, but also savage birds and trained, neutered animals of pit bulls and stray cats and other dogs. The army of Kitten's Landing would quickly realize that they were getting slaughtered and retreat deeper into their city, being chased by Lemur Snow's northern army.
I died how I lived, shucking wood. I'm dead.
Lemur went to chase after the southern army when he felt Rocky enter his mind.
Liam, they got Chuckwood. He's dead.
What? No! Hey, wait, how are you in my head?
It's taken all my strength to hook to you this way.
Okay, gotcha. I'll just turn around and talk to you. Is there any way you can use your abilities to see the future? Maybe what's coming?
I can try. Liam, stop. They're leading us into the city to trap us and kill us all.
Everybody, stop! It's a trap! Hold positions!
What did you just say? It's a trap? That's it. I've had enough. I've done things your way. It's time to do them my way now.
Where is Pixie going? We need her.
I need you to rally everyone and get back here. I think Pixie's about to do something that's really gonna hurt us. Pull everyone that you can out from the castle to the Blue Keep.
But what about the Night Owl? If he attacks, that could...
I know. Just be on guard. Hopefully we'll have some time and we can take the castle after. If not, the Blue Keep has that passage that will lead us to the water so we can sail away. And don't look back.
We see Pixie walk out of the city of Kitten's Landing and get on top of her bearded dragon. She would fly up into the air and launch towards the castle, flexing her power so everybody could see. Pixie would first fly her bearded dragon over the ocean, laying waste to her enemy ships that were in the harbor. Some of the ships would try to take out the dragon, but no one would be able to land the shot. Once Pixie finished off the last enemy ship, she turned her eyes on the castle. Shattered Dragon only attacked the northern part of the city, where most of Queen Fauna's forces were.
I will give them the mercy to which they showed toward my trusted advisor, Karen the Heron. This one's for you. Fire us.
She spoke aloud to herself.
What? No, I was talking to you, narrator guy. Hey, cutie, how you doing? Woo! Sorry. I don't feel sorry for any of the people of Kitten's Landing. I gave them a choice. Live in my new world or die in your old one.
After a few blasts from the bearded dragon's mouth, the northern part of the city would be laid to waste, and Pixie would land her dragon and get off. She would walk inside the castle. We see Lemur and Ramona watched her from a distance and gathered the army to move to help their queen. As Pixie walked inside, she would be greeted by a small battalion of troops that were there to protect Queen Fauna.
You lay waste to this city and its people. You expect them to worship you. When you take it, you're no queen. Neither are you. You hide in your throne room, sitting on your musical chair, having everybody do your bidding for you. Have you ever got your hand dirty like I have? You don't know what the people want or need. I do. I've liberated the people of the West. I will liberate the people of your tyranny once and for all. I was a queen of this land while you were walking in diapers, child. If you talk to me that way again, I'll have you spanked by my humble guard and take your tongue. That's right, because you can't take it yourself. You're a coward. Speaking of cowards, where's my brother? Last I heard, he had run to the north to help your failed attempt at stopping the Night Owl. Your brother or your lover?
The girls stared each other down before Pixie said,
Not many of us made it out of the north alive. I'm sorry I don't know what happened to him. He could just be another soldier in the Night Owl's army now. Or maybe he slipped away. Too sad. His idjitness probably got him killed. He always wanted to die an honorable death. You have outlived your entertainment. Gods, kill her!
The guards surrounded Pixie and put their swords up to their bodies. and got ready to fight for their queen. They waited for her word to deal the final blow.
Wait, stop. Please just tell me one thing. I want to know one thing. Why did you say you would help us and you never did?
It goes back to what we were saying earlier. I have what it takes to be a queen. I have power. I wouldn't leave myself unprotected. I knew when you brought that undead creature down here to show me proof that you were never going to survive this. I counted on you all dying at the hands of the Night Owl. And if he turns his eye down here, I'll use my ships to just sail away.
Sail away? He has one of my bearded dragons, Fawn. Now's the time we start to fight together.
You're bluffing. How could he have a dead bearded dragon?
Because that's what the Night Owl does. He raises the dead and adds them to his army. We could wipe out all of his zombies, but if he killed 100 of our men, he could still bring them back and have an army, and destroy us from the inside out.
I've heard enough, and I'm not buying your bullshit. I went and I saw your army, and it's no match for mine. Guards, take your head on my signal. Do you have any last words before I kill you?
Fire us!
Fauna went and lifted her hand into the air, and as she was just about to close her hand into a fist, Lemur, Ramona, and a freaking giant bearded dragon with the Northern Army would burst through the door and attack the royal guards and save Pixie. With all the confusion going on, Queen Fauna would quickly run away to a secret passage and slip out, never being seen by anyone. The Northern Army would clear the castle and start to take its prisoners. It wouldn't be long before they took the whole city of Kitten's Landing. Lemur approached Pixie and said,
Good news, my queen. We have captured the entire city.
Okay, good. I want all the prisoners executed.
Executed? But if the Night Owl attacks us, we need all the soldiers we can get.
In a time of war, I will not use my enemy soldiers. They were given the opportunity to follow me into a new life, or die clinging to their old one. They made their decision.
But my queen!
Damn it, Lieber, I've heard enough. Now is not the time to deal with this. I will talk to you later after I address my subjects.
Rocky and Tommy slowly walked their way up to Lemur and stand next to him. They all listen and watch as Pixie, their queen, mother of bearded dragons, bringer of robes, champion of Perrine, and ruler of the Eastlands, addressed everyone.
My brothers and sisters, settle down. You may stop kneeling. Tonight we celebrate, for we have broken the wheel. The masters are no more in the West, and we have freed the people here from tyranny of a horrible queen. No more who rule shall lock animals in chains for no valid reason. No animal shall tell us we have ate enough, or where we want to sleep, or where we shall spend our coins, or even who to love. I give you all your freedom. You have earned it, but the choice is yours. If you choose to stay, you'll help me finish what I finally hope to accomplish, and our work's not done. There are others still that do not want you or I to be happy. They wish to take what you have, and I won't let them. Will you stand by me? Will you help me make this world a better place and finish what I started? I won't rule one land. I will rule them all.
The crowd cheered in awe of the queen. Pixie had led them from one side of the world of slavery and mostly desert to a new one in the west, with snow, forests, and big castles. Queen Pixie looked out for her people. She fed them, clothed them, and even trained them and protected them. There wasn't an animal in her army that wouldn't give their life for her.
Lemur, my king, congratulations on the battle, my friend. We have fought for our freedom and won it at its most expensive price.
I know, my friend. I can't help but wonder if it was all worth it.
Is that why you are brooding, staring off into the distance?
Nobody broods like Lemur. It's a natural thing for him.
Aye, my brother. I'm afraid to tell you what I saw in the fire. So, here, Tommy will.
Rocky walked into Tommy and said,
We both must step away, as we have our parts to play. The Night Owl will be here soon. We must leave and prepare for the final battle. I think he is after the baby we saved. Throughout history, he has been gathering newborn boys to turn into his army of the dead. They hunt and recruit for his army and are really hard to kill. But if you do manage to kill one, you kill all the ones that it has turned.
So, if we destroy the Night Owl, we destroy them all.
Yes, we all have a part to play, but mine is not here. It's on the island of misfits. There's something there I think I can use to stop the Night Owl. It's weird. Anytime I look in the future, it's cloudy, and all I can see is the damn Westwood tree on that stupid island.
Hurry up, take a walk with me. I don't trust the others around. But I gotta ask, have you considered giving up the babe? Rocky had mentioned that he was safe, hidden up in the Erie. Wee-oo, wee-oo.
The baby Rocky saved was actually meant to be one of the Night Owl's kids. And I'm not giving up my dead girlfriend's baby. At least not without a fight. But I'm not totally convinced he's been attacking us for the baby. I think he wants to play the game of musical chairs. And to rule and take us all over like that children's tale we all heard growing up. The Long Winter's Night?
Wait, did the Night Owl do the nasty with... Ew! He's a dead owl! How could you even do that? Ugh!
No, you idiot. I saved her from a crazy, abusive father who would sacrifice the newborn baby boys to the Night Owl.
I saw in a vision that the Night Owl is taking the babies to New York Peppermint Patty Mountain and puts the babies on altars and turns them into the army of the dead generals.
The one guy we met had 32 wives and only kept the daughters. Pretty smart man. When the army of crows and I passed through, that Dick Craster wouldn't even feed us. That's what started the chaos. The army of the crows killing other crows and our leader. My girlfriend didn't even have a chance. Heck, I barely escaped with the baby. I'm lucky I ran into your brother Rocky and Chuck Wood. They saved my life. And the babies, of course.
I've had multiple visions where he wins, Liam, and he takes the baby and turns it into whatever, like kills us all. But I've had one where he didn't. I've showed it to Ramona and what she needs to do. Now let me show it to you.
Lemur bent down and Rocky put his hands on Lemur's forehead and showed him a vision of what was to come. Flashes of dragons battling in the night sky during a snowstorm, the weirwood tree on fire, and the night owl standing over Lemur, about to stab him with his icy knife, flashed through his head before he returned back to reality.
How much time do we got before he gets here?
I'd say about 30 seconds.
But I saw us battling him in the snowy night. It's afternoon right now.
Liam, we're getting the frick out of here. Hurry up and get to the Northern Army now, and good luck, my friend. I'll see you soon.
Lemur took off running out of the throne room, and Rocky said,
Rude? Like, did you see that guy? He couldn't even say goodbye. Just, like, runs off. Ugh.
Lemur would hurry up and gather everybody that he could and would bring them to the front gate. The sky would go from clear blue to filled with clouds, and snow would start to fall. Archers stood on balconies and soldiers, all aligned, waiting for the attack. Moments would pass and the wind would calm down and go silent, and the night owl could be heard flying above, over their head, a dozen times, over and over again. Lemur's army wouldn't have no clue that he would be burning all the remaining ships in the harbor to the ground, so they would have no escape. We see a little battle boat, and Queen Fauna goes up to it and goes to get inside and starts to paddle away, but she doesn't get too far before her brother emerges. He comes running up to the dock and throws a knife at Fauna's rowboat, putting a hole in the bottom of it, allowing water to get in. Fauna would paddle the boat back over to the dock and get out.
Brother, you're alive? So the report of your death wasn't true? I'm so relieved. But why the hell have you destroyed your only shot of getting out of this wrecked place?
Fauna's brother would pull his hand up to his face and rip it off, and it's revealed it's Ramona.
Ah! Why must you be the biggest pain in my ass? You killed my son, your nephew.
Your war has killed our entire family. You're the last name I have on my list of animals to euthanize. Do you have any last words, sister?
Mother is still alive. I can help you find her. Rumor is, at the Red Wedding, she didn't die. She survived and was washed downstream. The Brotherhood without banners found her and brought her to life with a kiss.
You liar! You'll say anything you can think of to get someone to favor you.
I swear on my life, Mother is still alive.
Tell Father I'm sorry I had to do this when you see him.
Ramona went on to sheath her sword and whipped it around in a circle 2 times. That is all she would need, as Funnel would fall to the ground into 2 different pieces. Outside the castle, the night owl would fly over Ramona's head, and she would see that he was laying waste to all the remaining ships in the harbor. The night owl would land a dragon on the edge of the water just outside the castle, and Ramona watched him trying to figure out what he was doing. He would get off his dead bearded dragon and go over to the water and touch it. He would then walk back to his dragon and hopped on and fly back up into the sky. Ramona watched the ocean go from making waves to a perfect calm, and it would start to freeze over, making its way slowly over to the castle, but only freezing the water, not the castle itself. Ramona would put her sword back into its sheath and quickly flee the docks as she ran through the town at lightning speed. The next time we see her, she's running up to Lemur out of breath, saying,
The night owl, it froze the ocean. He's gonna attack on all fronts.
Attack on all fronts? Fudge hopper. We don't have the bloody numbers for that kind of attack.
Yeah? Well, maybe the Cuckoo Bird Queen shouldn't have killed all of the prisoners of war. Then maybe we could have stood a chance.
That Cuckoo Bird Queen? Pixie?
Yeah, you heard her speech. She's not gonna rest till the world bends their knee to her, Liam. Her. We went from one tyrant to another.
What do you want from me? All the warriors left are hers. She's done nothing to question my loyalty. And, according to Rocky, she's even my blood.
You're a dragon?
I, her father, and your father's sister.
Liam, that means you're the king.
The dead have breached the walls! The dead have breached the walls! The dead have breached the... Okay, we'll talk later. Please tell me you at least took care of the Queen in Kitten's Landing.
Oh, I did. She will no longer be a problem for us.
Alright, good. Get into position and get ready to fight. Men, get into position! Archers, ready your bows! On my mark, let the dead come to us for a fight. For we are dead animals already. And roadkill never dies! Ah!
We are the army of the dead in its numbers in the 10,000. The army consisted of 182 white night owl generals, trolls, goblins, giants, and a whole lot of undead animals. Some of the fiercest ones would be undead polar bears, giant spiders, and of course, a dead bearded dragon. Night Owl rode his bearded dragon above the city of Kitten's Landing and turned a nice sunny afternoon into the darkest day ever to cease to exist. As everything all around turned black, the Night Owl's army started to run in to attack lemurs. The undead would quickly surround the entire city from land to sea, and lemur would scream, "Loose!" The northern archers would fire their flinging arrows and manage to take out a good chunk of the dead. But more would just come and pile up against the walls of the city, and the dead would climb each other slowly, but surely breaching the walls of Kitten's Landing, where the archers were. It would be a matter of seconds before the archers would be wiped out, and the dead would start falling down, making their way towards what was left of the northern army. Lemur ran forward courageously with his soldiers, and swords would clash, but the dead don't die easy and fight ruthless. Lemur ordered his men to retreat after seeing the dead overwhelm and take his army. Only a handful of his men would escape with him, and they would run into Ramona.
Where's the Mad Queen, Pixie? Why isn't she helping us? And why aren't you on your dragon?
I've hid my dragon so it can't be killed or used against us.
I need it.
Why?
I gotta get to the Westwood Tree on the island of Misfits. It's where Rocky and Tommy are. You have to come with me, Lean. Now! We don't stand a chance out here. Our army is already almost wiped out.
No, it's not. I still got 20 good men from the north. That's all I need. Just get me close enough to the Night Owl and I'll stab him with my dragon glass sword and end this once and for all.
I only know what Rocky has told me. You know how he can sense things, past, present, and future. He needs me to get you out of here and to the Westwood Tree now.
Go on ahead. I'll be right behind you. My dragon is in the basement of the Blue Keep.
Ramona took off running to the Blue Keep, and everything would come to a silence. There would be no more screaming from dying soldiers, no more swords clashing, or even the undead making their weird sounds.
Men, form up on me and get ready. I got a bad feeling about this.
One of Lemur's soldiers went over and put a Starbucks cup in front of the one door, and then came back and got into position.
Really? What the hell? Why did you put a Starbucks cup there?
To distract the enemy when they enter this place? Duh.
Oh, okay, good call. It worked on me. Wait, whoa, look! Where did the cup go? It's like it magically disappeared.
No, it didn't. It got so cold that it disintegrated. Sorry, Liam, but we don't want to die.
The northern soldiers went to run away, but would be frozen in place. Lemur jumped away, and the Night Owl would enter into the room and walk up to him. His undead army would follow right behind him, step for step, and would completely disciplined. They would form a circle around Lemur and the sinister-looking Night Owl. The creepy-looking villainous owl would walk forward and tower over Lemur and look down at him. As he got to Lemur, he clapped both of his hands together and destroyed what was left of Lemur's army, frozen in blaze.
So, you are the chosen one, the prince that was promised. Ha 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 ha! I don't see it. You're too scrawny. Submit to me, or join my dead army.
I will never submit to you. I'm the only one that's here to restore things to their proper way.
Lemur drew his sword, and the Night Owl would remove his, and they would begin to clash. Both the Night Owl and Lemur were experienced swordsmen, but neither one would be able to land a blow on one another.
I don't want you, prince that was promised. I want the seer. He's the one that took my son. With him gone, the long night will last forever, and no one will be able to stop me. I admit you're a great swordsman, Liver Snow, and will make a fine lieutenant to my army.
Over my dead body, I'll never join the likes of you.
Oh yes, well, that's the idea.
The night owl would take the swing of Lemur's sword and stab it in between his hands with a clap, and Lemur's sword would shatter in the night owl's wings. The night owl would pull a dagger from his back and stab Lemur in the gut. Little did he know that Lemur had done the same exact thing to him. They would both stagger and back up from one another, and Lemur would say,
Huh? What? How did the dragon glass dagger not kill you?
What do you think the children of the forest used to create me, dummy?
The night owl would walk up to Lemur and throw him across the air in anger. He then walked over to Lemur, who was on the ground, and picked him up by his throat and stabbed him in the gut a few more times. Out of nowhere, the remaining castle walls would come crashing down, and Pixie would emerge on the back of a bearded dragon. As she bursted through the wall, she would knock the night owl down, and his undead army would swarm in and try to protect their king. Lemur acted fast and got up off the ground and ran towards Pixie, cutting down any dead that got in his way. When he got out, she reached her paw down and helped him get on top of her bearded dragon. The night owl would get up and whistle. Pixie would have her bearded dragon try to take off, but the night owl's undead dragon would show up and block her path. The evil dragon started to breathe blue fire at Pixie and Lemur, and they were forced to duck. At the same time, the undead army was attacking Pixie's dragon, and the night owl was walking forward towards Lemur to try to whip him off her dragon. After ducking a few times, Lemur pulled out his remaining weapon, the dragon glass dagger, and threw it at the mighty dragon that lay before them. The knife would get stuck in the underbelly of the dead dragon, and the scary beast would disintegrate along with the animals that it had killed and turned. With their path now clear, Pixie and Lemur would manage to escape into the night and flee to the werewolf tree on the island of Misfit Toys. There they would meet Rocky and Tommy, who were waiting for them. The night owl looked and watched them fade off into the distance. He noticed he had lost a ton of troops, and now would be a good time as any to replenish those numbers. He put his arms out and slowly lifted them into the night sky, and any animal that had died recently would be brought back to life as a zombie. The night owl walked forward and exited the rubble of what was Kitten's Landing. The army, newly replenished, would follow the night owl as he muttered something over and over again.
To the Wellwood Tree, on the island of Misfits.
It wouldn't be long before Lemur and Pixie would arrive on the back of her bearded dragon at the Weirwood Tree on the island of Misfits and greet Rocky and Tommy.
Lemur, you made it. I was worried that the night owl had gotten you. There were so many versions to which he did, and only a few which you survived. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Only my pride and ego. But I thought you could only see the future.
No, you got it wrong. I can see many futures, all possible outcomes, and nothing is ever set in stone until it actually happens.
Is Ramona here? Did she make it back with Lemur's dragon?
Not that I can see. You guys are the first ones here, aside from Rocky and I.
I came here to the Godswood in hopes that I could harness my seeing powers better through the Weirwood Tree, but alas, it has only shown me how to beat the night owl, nothing else.
Well, how do we beat him?
You must let him come to me. He wants to end my existence so there will be no past, no future. But I have a plan. I'm gonna wait for him next to the tree with the face. What I want.
Rocky's eyes would go from sky blue to milky white, and he would say,
The night owl is here, and Liam, he has your dragon.
But if he has my dragon, that means...
Ramona, no! She can't be dead. She's the greatest warrior I've ever seen fight. I don't believe it. There's no way a woman like that can be killed.
Rocky teleported himself into Pixie's mind and showed her something. Tommy and Lemur run and get into attack position as soon as they hear the night owl. Seconds later, he would land and hop off of Lemur's dragon, which now he had turned to dead and was under his control. The dragon would fly up into the night sky, and he would defend the night owl from attacks by Tommy and Lemur with ease, breathing fire around them, protecting its master, and almost wiping out his enemies. Lemur got close and swung his sword at the night owl, but the night owl would disarm Lemur and take his sword, and somehow now have it in his hand. The night owl would somehow become a better swordsman now that he had two swords swinging, and they were both aimed at Lemur. He spun them around in circles so quick that the naked eye couldn't even see what he was doing. Tommy quickly hurried up and threw Lemur his sword.
Lemur!
And the night owl chucked one of his swords at Tommy. It spun quickly in the air at Tommy and would strike him right in the heart.
Hum of my balls.
The night owl did this without even looking, and Tommy would fall to the ground seconds later and die a quick death. The wind would go from a calm breeze to a cold gust of snow that would fall from the sky quickly. Within a matter of seconds, a blizzard had hit the area. The night owl reached out his arm, and a block of ice would emerge up from the ground and trap Lemur inside of it. Next, the night owl looked around and saw Rocky was underneath the weirwood tree, holding his stolen child.
You have been a nuisance to me for the last time. I have killed all the ones you love, and I'll gladly wipe you out now as well. With you gone, I can finally have my child back and take this country for my own. There will be no past or present, only my future that I create.
I've seen you countless times again and again and again and again throughout history. I saw you fall in love with a White Walker, and then I saw you perish and be turned into the king of the night owls. This ancient animals we worship. I saw my ancestors chop your trees, build a wall, and exile those who didn't seem worthy of living life.
Rocky struggled to lift his crippled body out of the chair, but would manage to do so. He was crippled from the evil queens of Kitten Landing's brother for catching them having sex. Her brother pushed him out of a tower and meant to kill Rocky. But somehow he would survive and become the past, present, and future, the seer. Rocky laid the baby on the ground next to him, as it would be a cue. As the Night King got up to Rocky, he lifted him up into the air and started squeezing his neck, choking him. As Rocky started to struggle, trying to break free, out from the top of the weirwood tree, Ramona would emerge and jump down and land on the Night King, while Pixie emerged out of nowhere. She had been given the message from Rocky using his ability to wait for the cue to attack. The cue was putting the baby on the ground. Ramona would get a few stabs in with her knife and manage to subdue the night owl a teensy bit before Pixie would rain fire down on top of the night owl and Rocky. We see the night owl would be unaffected, but Rocky would burn up and die in screaming in agony. Lemur watched everything go down and screamed,
Rocky, no!
The night owl locked eyes with Lemur and started to walk towards him. His flesh was burned down to the muscle, but he would still be fine. Pixie's dragon breathed more fire at Rocky's dead body, and the tree would eventually catch on fire next. The night owl started to walk faster towards Lemur, and he would quickly swing his ice sword at him, but ended up missing. Lemur yelled,
The tree! Pixie! It's the only way!
The night owl's dragon flew from the sky and slammed into Pixie's dragon, and she would fall off, but be unscathed. The night owl's dead army would start to quickly run at Pixie, Ramona, and Lemur, and they would all freeze in terror. The night owl's dragon breathed fire on Pixie, but she would be unaffected by the heat of the dragon's flame. Because she was of the bearded dragon house, her dragon would start to fight for her and begin to battle the night owl's dragon, and they would fly up into the sky. The weirwood tree with the face on it would begin to cry blood and fall over, still burning from the night owl's attack. The undead dragon would go and fly at Pixie's dragon with full force, but as it got to her, it would instead fall down from the sky and not hit her dragon at all. Ramona would end up getting free from being surrounded by the dead, and they would fall to the ground as well. She would run over to the night owl and plunged a dagger into his heart, and he would scream in pain and muttered something to her before he would die and disintegrate. We see the pile of dead on top of Lemur turn to dust, and he breaks free from the block of ice to which the night owl was holding him. Ramona, Pixie, and Lemur run over to the night owl's body as his dead army was collapsing all around them.
How ironic. You may have beaten me, but you're still not safe from the real threat.
The night owl reached up to the sky, trying to grab one of the three of them before finally disintegrating into the snow before their eyes.
Holy crap! We did it, you guys! Now we can finally return back to normal.
Return to normal? Lemur, what do you mean? We're not done yet. We still have one thing left to do. Follow me.
Pixie went over and mounted her dragon and pulled Ramona up as well. Lemur pulled himself up on top of her bearded dragon, and they would ride it back to Kitten's Landing. When they finally arrived, Ramona would lead them in hopes to find some survivors, and Pixie and Lemur would walk into the throne room. As they walked inside, Pixie said,
Wow, I never thought I'd be able to set my eyes upon this thing again. The musical chair. And now it's all mine.
Never gonna give you up.
Oh my bugs bunny. It's singing. Who would ever want such a thing?
I do. For now, we shall go around all over the world and gather the lost animals and rebuild what we have lost. And anybody that shall stand in my way will pay the iron price.
The iron price? We just saved the world. This isn't the way to rule it.
I've come from the rags of Algonquin. freed the people of Purine. I know what it takes to be a queen and rule. Do you?
No, I don't. I was a kid when I joined the Watchers of the Night. You know, no one told me the hard truth of what it would be like, and how I'd have to make a hard decision that would even get me killed.
What's wrong with you? Why are you coughing so much? Are you hurt?
Pixie?
Lemur went to fall forward, but would be caught by Pixie. She would help him up to his feet, and they would look deep into each other's eyes. Pixie would lean in and kiss Lemur, but as she did this, Lemur would unsheath his dagger and would plunge it into her stomach and twist. She would feel the pain and cry out,
Why, Lemur? I loved you.
Because you're not gonna stop until you have taken out the world. It was supposed to be about getting your home back. Damn it, Pixie. We got your home back, and you still wanted more. I had to stop you before you couldn't stop yourself.
The fire of the werewood tree would finally burn out, and Lemur would fall to the ground and die besides Pixie. Moments would pass, and Pixie's bearded dragon, Blaze, would show up and destroy the singing musical chair, breathing massive fire upon it, melting it. After it burned to the ground, the dragon nudged its mother, Pixie, with its head. When the dragon realized she was dead, it cried teardrops the size of buckets of water, and the dragon would grab Pixie and fly up into the air and carry her off with its feet into the sunset. With the last remaining werewood tree burned, all the magic in Eagle Falls would now disappear. This is what caused Lemur to die at the end, because he was brought back to life previously with an evil witch's magic long ago. The next thing we see is the dragon Blaze carrying its mother, Pixie, to a weird but familiar temple in Purine. The dragon lands and places its mother down on an altar. A creepy-looking warlock that's a toucan bird emerges and says,
My beautiful queen, what have they done to you? 12 years has passed since you have been reported dead.
He placed his hands over her heart and said,
Vishni, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishy, Vishni, Vishnu, Vishy, Vishy, Vishnu.
The toucan warlocks leaned down and kissed Pixie on the lips. As he got up, we see him fall to the ground and Pixie's eyes open. She looked all around and saw the dead toucan bird on the floor and said,
It's time to finish what I started.
She got up and walked outside. She recognized the place as Purine, and she was at the temple of the warlocks. She saw in the distance her dragon Blaze flying up in the sky, and animals around pointed at it, scared of them. A random old woman would walk forward up to Pixie and say,
Oh my. Well, aren't you a beautiful woman? You can use this more than I can.
The old woman went and handed Pixie an old coin, but would quickly pull out a dagger from underneath her sleeve and cut Pixie's throat. The old woman would be lightning fast and would catch Pixie's body before it fell to the ground. Pixie would look up to the old woman and try to figure out who she was and why she had done this. In her last few moments, we see the old woman remove her mask, and it's revealed to be...
There can be only one winner on the Game of Thrones. The game of music chairs. What? It's true. Fine, whatever. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Tune in next week, same time, same place, for an all-new episode. Have a great night.